Have you ever noticed how some people maintain perfect calm even when life feels like chaos? The ancient Greeks had a word for this rare state of unshakable peace. They called it Ataraxia. And today, we're continuing our journey to experiencing this transformative state for yourself. If you're just joining us, in part 1, we explored the first 3 fundamental practices of Ataraxia: awareness, mindful detachment, and simplification. These practices laid the foundation for what we're about to discover. And if you haven't watched part 1 yet, I highly recommend starting there. I'll link it in the description below. For those returning from part 1, welcome back. You've already begun to experience how ancient wisdom can transform your relationship with stress and anxiety. Now we're going to take these practices even deeper. In the next 4 days, you'll discover profound techniques that build on everything you've learned so far. Today, we begin with day 4, where you'll learn the life-changing art of suspended judgment, a practice that can dissolve stress and anxiety almost instantly. Then we'll explore how to find deep joy in life's simplest moments, harness the power of community for greater peace, and finally, bring everything together into a sustainable practice that can serve you for life. The ancient philosophers understood that true transformation happens in layers. Each practice builds on the ones before it, creating an unshakable foundation of inner peace. So whether you're continuing from part 1 or joining us fresh today, get ready to discover deeper levels of tranquility than you ever thought possible. Let's begin with day 4, the art of suspended judgment. Have you ever noticed how quickly your mind jumps to conclusions? Someone doesn't reply to your message, and suddenly you're creating elaborate stories about why they're upset with you. Or something doesn't go as planned, and your mind immediately labels it as terrible or disastrous. Today we're learning the transformative art of suspending judgment. This practice comes from Pyrrho, who taught his students to question their automatic reactions to events. He wasn't suggesting we become indecisive or apathetic. Instead, he was teaching something profound, that most of our suffering comes not from events themselves, but from our rushed judgments about them. Think about it. How many times has something you initially judged as bad turned out to be a blessing in disguise? How often have your worst fears about a situation turned out to be completely unfounded? Today, we're going to create a little space between events and our reactions to them. Here's your practice. Whenever you notice yourself feeling stressed or anxious today, pause and ask yourself 3 simple questions. Is this thought 100% true? Could there be another explanation? What if I didn't need to figure this out right now? Keep your journal handy and write down situations that trigger strong judgments. Then, practice writing at least one alternative interpretation. For example, if someone seems cold toward you, instead of assuming they're angry, consider that they might be dealing with their own challenges. If plans fall through, instead of labeling it as awful, consider that it might be making space for something better. This isn't about forcing positive thinking or denying real problems. It's about recognizing that our initial judgments are often clouded by fears, past experiences, or limited information. When we suspend judgment, even for a moment, we create space for peace to enter. By the end of today, you might notice how many of your stress reactions are based on automatic judgments rather than clear facts. This awareness alone can bring tremendous relief. Remember, you don't have to believe every thought your mind produces. You can pause, question, and choose peace instead. Day 5. Joy in simplicity. When was the last time you truly savored a moment? Not posted about it, not rushed through it, but really experienced it fully. In our quest for bigger, better, and more exciting experiences, we often miss the profound peace available in simple moments. The ancient Epicureans understood something that modern society often forgets. True happiness isn't found in grand achievements or expensive possessions. It's found in our ability to fully appreciate life's simple pleasures. A warm cup of tea on a cold morning, the the sound of rain on your window, a moment of quiet before the day begins. Today's practice might seem deceptively simple, but it holds transformative power. Choose one ordinary activity that you do every day. It could be drinking your morning coffee, taking a shower, or even tying your shoes. Instead of rushing through it on autopilot, turn it into a mindful ritual. Notice everything about this experience. If it's your morning coffee, feel the warmth of the cup in your hands. Smell the aroma before you take a sip. Notice the taste on different parts of your tongue. Feel the warmth as you swallow. Don't try to make it a spiritual experience. Just be fully present with what is. Throughout the day, see if you can extend this same quality of attention to other simple moments. Notice the feeling of fresh air when you step outside. Feel the water on your hands as you wash them. Listen to the sound of leaves rustling in the wind. In your journal, write down 3 simple pleasures you experienced today. How did it feel to give them your full attention? Did you discover any joy you usually miss? Remember, peace isn't always found in changing our circumstances. Sometimes it's found in changing how we experience them. By the end of today, you might notice that life feels richer, even though nothing external has changed. This is the magic of presence. It reveals the peace and joy available in every moment, if we only have the patience to notice. Day 6, community and connection. Today, we explore a crucial truth that many modern spiritual seekers overlook. The path to inner peace isn't meant to be walked alone. The ancient Greeks never practiced their philosophy in isolation. They formed communities, engaged in dialogue, and supported each other's growth. They understood that while the journey inward is personal, having companions along the way makes it both easier and more joyful. Think about it. Haven't you noticed how much lighter a burden feels when shared with an understanding friend? How a moment of insight becomes clearer when you can discuss it with someone who gets it? Today, we're going to intentionally bring the element of connection into your practice of Ataraxia. Your first practice today is to share one insight you've gained over the past 5 days with someone else. It could be a friend, family member, or even an online community. Don't worry about sounding profound. Just share honestly what you've noticed about yourself or your relationship with peace. But sharing is only half of connection. The second part of today's practice is to be fully present for someone else. Reach out to a friend or loved one and really listen to what's going on in their life. Practice the mindful presence you've been cultivating, but now direct it toward understanding another person's experience. Remember the suspended judgment we practiced on day 4? Apply that here too. Listen without immediately trying to fix or advise. Can you be present with someone else's experience the way you've been practicing being present with your own? In your journal, reflect on how it felt to share your journey and to hold space for someone else. Did you notice any shift in your own sense of peace when connecting authentically with others? Often, we find that sharing our path not only helps others, but deepens our own practice as well. By the end of today, you might notice that true peace isn't just an internal state. It's something that can be shared and even multiplied through genuine connection. In supporting others, we often find our own peace growing stronger. Day 7, integration and future vision. As the sun rises on this 7th day of your journey to Ataraxia, take a moment to appreciate how far you've come. What began as ancient wisdom has now become your lived experience. Over these past 6 days, you've been cultivating something remarkable, an inner sanctuary that no external circumstance can disturb. Think back to where you started. Maybe you were skeptical that real peace was possible in today's chaotic world. Yet here you are, having discovered tools and practices that the ancient Greeks knew could transform our relationship with stress and anxiety. You've learned to observe your thoughts without being consumed by them, to simplify your environment, to suspend judgment, to find joy in simple moments, and to share your journey with others. Today isn't about adding anything new. Instead, it's about weaving together everything you've discovered into a sustainable practice that will continue to serve you long after this challenge ends. Think of it like creating a map for your continued journey toward deeper peace. Your first practice today is to review your journal entries from the past week. Notice any patterns or shifts in how you respond to stress. Where did you find unexpected moments of peace? What challenges did you face, and how did you navigate them? Remember day 4's lesson about suspended judgment. This isn't about critiquing your progress, but about gathering wisdom from your experience. Now let's create what I call an Ataraxia manifesto, your personal commitment to ongoing peace. Write down 3 specific practices you'll continue. Maybe you'll maintain the morning mindfulness ritual from day 2, or keep the simplified digital environment you created on day 3. Choose practices that felt both powerful and sustainable for your lifestyle. Pay special attention to moments when peace felt most natural to you. Was it during your morning quiet time, while sharing insights with others, during simple daily activities? These are clues about where and how you can continue cultivating tranquility in your daily life. Remember, Ataraxia isn't a destination you reach once and for all. It's more like tending a garden. Some days the flowers will bloom abundantly. Other days might require more careful attention. What matters isn't perfection, but persistence, returning again and again to these practices that support your peace. The ancient Greeks understood something profound about human nature, that true peace isn't found in controlling external circumstances, but in developing an unshakable inner center. Through these 7 days, you've begun building that center for yourself. You've learned that peace doesn't require perfect conditions. It doesn't demand hours of meditation or a stress-free life. Instead, it asks for something both simpler and more profound. Your willingness to pause, to observe, to simplify, and to connect with what truly matters. As you move forward from this challenge, remember that every moment offers a new opportunity to choose peace. When you feel overwhelmed, return to the mindful detachment of day 2. When your environment feels chaotic, remember the simplification practices of day 3. When you're rushing through life, recall day 5's lessons about finding joy in simple moments. The practices you've learned aren't just techniques, they're keys to a fundamentally different way of being in the world, a way that the ancient philosophers discovered millennia ago, and that modern science continues to validate, a way that leads to genuine, lasting peace. Your journey to Ataraxia doesn't end here. In many ways, it's just beginning. You now have a foundation of practices and insights to build upon. Keep experimenting, keep observing, and keep returning to these tools whenever you need them. If this video has helped you discover more peace in your life, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. We explore ancient wisdom for modern living every week, finding practical ways to live with more clarity, purpose, and peace. Share your experience in the comments below. Which day's practice impacted you the most? What insights did you gain? Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear to begin their own journey to peace. Remember, in a world that often feels chaotic and overwhelming, cultivating inner peace isn't just a personal luxury. It's a gift you give to everyone around you. As you move forward, carry these practices with you like precious seeds, knowing that each time you choose peace, you help create a more peaceful world. Thank you for joining me on this 7-day journey to Ataraxia. May you continue to discover deeper levels of peace, day by day, moment by moment. Until next time, stay peaceful, and remember, true tranquility is always within reach, on your path to a better life.